Alright, today it is demo weekend and we're taking a look at a city builder, survival builder sort of game called City of Atlantis. To me, when I first looked at it, it looked like Frostpunk but skinned in Greek mythology. So of course I'm going to take a look at it. I want to know if they're, just copy pasting someone else's code set. But of course I love mythology as well, so I do laugh that you always make excuses like, oh, and you try to place Atlantis in the most bizarre locations on the planet. Ivor Shad, if anyone knows what that is, it's an old salt mine lake that has dried up in Africa in the Sahara region. It's so large you can see it from space. People go, oh, but it has the ring structure of City Atlantis. City of Atlantis was not necessarily round. The descriptions of the city were of an academic sense. They were drawing diagrams to explain the concept of city. Like you have regions that in the center of the city you store certain things and outward you store other things. Anyway, we'll get into the game, we'll play it, we'll take the history aside for now. If you're interested, you can take a look at some of the research that's out there. But there's a lot of bullshit. This one looks like it's a very Eastern European, I'm telling you about your culture, but I'm not of that culture sense. So this is gonna be funny. Should I be the girl? I guess this is... So we have an economic culture. Damon's the economic guy. He's a former junior workshop overseer who responsible for tools, materials, and labor quotas. They learn that Atlantis survives not through speeches, but through repaired roofs, full storerooms, and workers who know what must be done. So he's the practical guy. The old dude is the science dude. So this is Orion. He's a former junior administrator at the Royal Technology Department. By the way, Orion is not even remotely, like in mythology, was not even remotely a scholar. He was a dude who raped a lady, who got run out of his own country and taken in by other people. Um, Pleading excuses for, what happened. So but he was someone who helped this other culture. Maybe he learned from his mistakes, and used that experience to become better. Who knows? Or maybe he just bullshitted folks. But anyway, he's not a science type. They just named him after someone in the stars, huh? Anyway, so then the third lady is the diplomat. She's guided by the stars, intuition, the unseen patterns of the cosmos. Um, yeah. Stars are exceptional peoples, right? So they were the leaders of something and they were kept alive even though they were migrants because they were really good at something. They were either very beautiful, very talented, or very had some amazing technologies that helped advance the society. They had to be extremely exceptional to be accepted. Usually they're just see, now today's culture associates diplomats with bullshitters, people who lie, because they're so eloquent, so great at speech, they can convince you of something they're not intending to do. Or not giving you. I'm gonna play practical dude, let's play Damon. What's his trait? He's pragmatic, practical solutions. Yeah, let's be practical.
I remember the senators laughing when the high priest warned them that pride is the gravest sin. But they did not listen. Atlantis, the pearl of the seas. For centuries, man and God built a wonder of power and wisdom. Our knowledge grew, our city prospered, our fleets ruled the seas. But the temples stood empty, and the gods answered with wrath.
I don't think it was the gods who destroyed Atlantis. I think it was the migrants.
Since the fall of Atlantis,
Just look what they're doing in the Middle East right now. India and Pakistan is taking over Iran.
we remembered.
Trying to convince you it's the white man and the Americans doing
still
it.
remained.
With their Indian and Pakistani agents all over the world attacking everyone for their resources.
And the last of us still stand. And now, the future of Atlantis.
They're selling it to China and India.
Its legacy is in your hands.
Anyway. Divine wrath. Atlantis rose to rival the gods through a technology. Zeus answered with wrath, destroying the city and sparing only a few to obey divine law. Atlantis was not destroyed by Zeus. They were attacked by Asiatic Persians. As they always are, every 200 to 400 years, Asian overpopulation pushes them outward, and they move into the neighboring communities, and those people flee into the cities for support, but who can't feed them, and then destroy the cities that they enter. And Asians have been doing this to expand their borders and steal more resources for centuries. I mean, look at the Mongols, right? They took over the Central Asia and tried to make everyone Asian with Buddhist invaders. And they were murdering Catholics and pushing the Catholics into Europe. Into the folks who believed in, the Greek mythology, the multicultural pantheons. And that pattern is based on service pillars, right? You have people who manage or are masters of a certain area. So Demeter being your, government services of agriculture of the primitive day. Ares being your war, Athena being your merchant, not your merchant, but your craftsman guild. Hermes would be your merchant guild. Poseidon is your sailors and your fishermen. So, we had early primitive government structures, and you guys had your one god kingdoms where you just listened to your king ruler and just try to give him his needs regardless of the damage it does on other pillar areas. So, for example, you stripped the Middle East of all its trees, you created deserts and water. You also stripped it of food, water, trees to feed your overpopulation and transfer those resources into Asia to feed Asians' needs. Anyway. So, yeah, this is written by Eastern Europeans who've been indoctrinated by Asia, I'm sure. Vestal Dora. You survived. The rest of the administration is dead. And of all the priests, I'm the only one left. We must gather the survivors and save whoever we still can. So, who was Frostpunk built by? I can't remember. Did they sell their code set to these guys, or did they try to duplicate through theft? Did they... I worked for an Indonesian company, so they were all Southeast Asians, right? Who worked on, what was it? They were doing build and background infrastructure for multiplayer in China and Asia. But they were integrating with American groups that were working with these people. And they were just stealing the code sets. There was this group of Chinese and East Asian peoples. The guy I worked for was Indonesian, who was literally stealing people's code sets and trying to sell it to their Asian conglomerates. I was only there 2 months, but I wouldn't have wanted to stay there longer. It was corrupt as fuck, racist as fuck, and these people were so fucking misogynist working out of Indonesia. They wouldn't listen to women. They wouldn't do work. They were sitting there collecting 12 paychecks to do the work of less than one person. It was a nightmare position. Anyway, but these are the people who are creating games like this. They're selling it to folks, trying to make money out of superficiality and propaganda. So I look at this and I go, well, this was my people's history, my people's culture. You were Asians. You were Asians living in Mongolian territories, being pastoral, ranchers, destroying your lands to create more pastures. As you got displaced out of Asian territories. Enslaved by Asians. Anyway. Oh boy. I'm in a bad mood today because I'm sick of reading all the social media posts by Islamics and Asiatic bullshit. The scapegoating on the white communities and the bastardization of our history is just kind of disgusting. It's like, none of them studied history. None of them read the books. I read their books. Did they read my books? No. Anyway. Let's go. This is going to be a fun experience. Okay, we're gathering survivors. We want to restore the lighthouse. This beacon will guide survivors back to Atlantis. Many citizens are away on distant trade missions. They may yet return if they see the light. Yeah, well, the big cities often trade for things they need because there's so many people in this compact little area, they can't feed themselves, right? They're dependent on the surrounding regions. That's why cities defend borders. The surrounding region is meant to feed the people in their city, not outside of it. So I need to collect sea stone. I'm Jason from the lower docks. Some boats still float. We can use them to scavenge the ruins. So I want to assign a ship. Alright. Use WASD to assign ships. So that's exotic lumber, I guess, because lumber doesn't grow in the seas. So it's exotic from the sense of the seas. Ships are the core of Atlantis. You do not control the fleet directly. Instead, assign ships to specific tasks and let them operate efficiently on their own. To do this, left click on the object and press assign. Use 1, 2, or 3 to change speed. Press space to pause. Okay, so we want to do this guy as well, I guess. It's ruins. How do I know what I'm going to get? Oh, sea stone. Assign ship. This one was wood, and this one is stone. So it's not letting me change the assigned workers anymore. This guy has 1 assigned. This one has like 3 assigned. I don't want 3 of them on there. I'm not allowed to assign to that. I'm only allowed to grab I guess I'm only allowed to grab these things for now. This one is sulfur. Oh, let me grab the sulfur. So let's speed it up a little. We finish faster. Okay. Now we repair the lighthouse. Assign ships keep working until recalled. Recall gathering ships and assign them to repair the lighthouse. Okay. So we gotta go... there's no one assigned anymore. Well, they've assigned a ship, so whatever. I don't understand your assigning things. Like, I'm clicking on things to assign, it's not letting me assign. I'm clicking on things to recall, I only have one out. Where does it say up here how many ships I have here? It's 0 to 4. They're working somewhere. I've got 2 here, and I don't know where the other guy is. Okay, maybe there was 1 here. How do I find out where they're assigned to unassign them? Open the fleet panel. Is it literally... It does nothing for me. Here. These 2 are idle, but it won't let me assign them anywhere. I think your game doesn't work. Am I surprised? Not entirely. Is it because of the tutorial? I don't know. Am I in tutorial mode? Is that why it's broken? You're kind of forcing me to do a certain thing. Or are you just trying to lie to me and convince me that this management stuff works when it doesn't really work? Oh, now everyone's assigned. And it won't let me unassign them. Oh my god. There's no deassign button. Alright. Test the light. The lighthouse is rebuilt and some fuel has been prepared. Do the honor, ignite the beacon, and let Atlantis shine again. Where? Test. It says test the beacon. Here? Turn lighthouse. Turn lighthouse? Turn it on. Try to get rid of some of the stuff in the closest areas. Lighthouse is lit. Now scavenge the ruins for more fuel to keep the beacon burning. So I still have one more ship. So it's this stuff. Atlantis has shown humility and the gods seem less hostile. Priests report gentler signs of fear, fearful whispers. Ships must be unassigned and take on new tasks. Rooms can be scavenged or fully demolished. Wants me to scavenge these things. Alright, well... we'll assign a ship here. Assign a ship there. The warmth of the lighthouse still lingers, but not for long. The light goes out, hope will fade. With it, trade will cease, no more survivals will return, and the city will be plunged back into darkness. We must restore the production of the resource needed to keep the beacon burning. For now, save as much sulfur as you can. It is required to hide us from the god's wrath. Use the beacon only when all other solutions are lost. I remember the senators laughing when the high priest warned them that pride is the gravest sin against the gods. Yet with every new machine, every cure, every engine, Atlantis reached further for powers meant only for the divine. They called it progress, but to the gods it was pride. Our efforts should focus on the shipyard. A larger fleet will let us rebuild faster and reach farther, but ships alone will not save Atlantis. If our peoples fall to hunger, cold, or disease, there will be no city left to restore. The problem with attracting folks to your city is that people will come and attack that city for spare parts. Shipyard needs resources and lost blueprints. Until we can recover them, we should search the ruins for materials and lost knowledge. You know, our leader here is not available in the demo. Is quite silent. We've got the lady talking to us instead. So runes scavenging beneath the runes. You said runes twice. Maybe just take the one up top, guys. Localization. Deep within the ruins of Atlantis, our scavengers uncovered more usable resources. We should continue scavenging. These expeditions bring food for our peoples, valuable items, and sulfur to keep your life from burning. We got 60 sulfur and 15 ceramic. Basic goods are the foundation of survival, yada yada yada. Fail to provide them will affect their happiness. Then we got more stuff. We got more sulfur and some wine. Yeah, labor shortages, etc. We still have 2 boats. It wants me to do this one. We got 1 more to go. Try to get rid of the stuff that's in the center closest to us. So I guess because we're probably going to need to build those areas out. I'm supposed to be researching something, but you didn't tell me to research something. Where's technology? Treasury. Goods. Population. Here it is. It wants me to do timbercraft engineering. Rune scavenging and grim discovery. While searching the remains of our once great city, we come across a small group of survivors. At first it feels like a blessing. On closer inspection, they are sick, weak, barely standing. They look to us with hope, asking for you to... So, we need food, shelter, and care. So if I leave them behind, I'll give them food. If I keep them, we give to the population, but we reduce worker efficiency. But I'm not allowed to sacrifice them. Where is our food level right now? I don't know how much food we have. We're gonna take them in then, which is gonna suck. Excellent, we now have everything we need to ignite the lighthouse. Do it. What? Isn't it already lit? I'm not allowed to build anything yet. We're working on the shipyard. We need wood. Okay, maybe I should assign someone to get some food. I wonder if the people who've been saying this game is good is just being sponsored. That's why they're saying it's good. Construct tree farms. Whoa, hold on. Lumber mill. Imports materials. I can't put it there. Tree farm. Warehouse. Put those 3 together, I guess. Residential. I'm still working on the wood needed here. Like, I'm clicking on it. I don't know if it's doing anything. Is it done? Maybe we should do this for food. Is that why I got these? Because I finished the technology? Oh, it wants 2 tree farms. Make housing a priority. Our people need shelter. Without it, disease and unrest will fall. I've been waiting for the ability to do that. I guess we'll put housing on this side. How many we need? Yeah, I don't know how much food we have. I only have sea stone up here. Sulfur. Oh, here's food. Food status. I don't think we've got food man or working yet. I only know how much timber I have because it's written down here. Oh, they wanted 2 tree farms. And then we got a... I'll put the farms over here. Grain. Shelter's not enough. Yeah, I know, I'm working on it. We did 2 grain farms, a mill, and a bakery. Okay, so that's where I can see what we have. So technology, I guess we'll do fabric next. How do I know how many people we have? Our production chain is now fully operational to produce the materials we need to grow Atlantis, but do not forget the people buildings. Without workers, produce nothing. I have no sulfur. So they're building up our food section. Partially occupied. So we've got 8 people. Go faster. I don't want this thing out of our way. Can we build the shipyard now? Okay, the shipyard has to go in the center. We'll put it on this side. We need fish. Guess I need to scavenge. Okay, so this guy finished. Where'd he go? I didn't assign him elsewhere. Like, I don't know where they're working, right? They're working somewhere. There's 3 ships right now. Where's my 4th? Oh, he's this guy? Again, where are they? Wait, do you feel that? The air is charged. I know that presence. He is coming. It's a thunderstorm. Construct a coast strider. Ship's not bred. Okay, so we have cotton farm. A tailor's workshop. And a textile mill. I'm gonna do the people's needs first. Then I gotta like... Like visually I see what you're going for. But I don't think mechanics-wise anything makes sense yet. Like none of the interfaces make sense. Like how to assign and recall ships. How do I know where they're assigned right now? Zeus's dream warning. In a dream, Zeus speaks with cold certainty. Atlantis felt pride. Humans reach their godly powers through technology. I think it was more the complete absorption of resources and destruction of the environment that they would be fighting. Everyone wanting to destroy the countryside to sell to these guilds who were building things, who weren't keeping the countrysides and the resources renewable. They were just completely destroying things. This is like the Middle East incarnate, right? To feed Asian bullshit. You folks want things, right? You want the luxuries and riches of other cultures, but you're sitting there destroying the borderlands to feed to the masses, and the masses aren't in Europe. You love to bitch and moan and blame the white man, but the riches are going to the overpopulated cultures, and the only overpopulated culture that has luxury and riches is China. So you know where it all went, right? In a dream, Zeus speaks with cold certainty. Atlantis fell to pride. Like, if you look at statistics, 60% of all the globe's resources goes to one country, and that country is China. So you know it's China's propagandas that's keeping us destroying other regions for China. And the people in these borderlands are willingly selling other countries and regions out, destroying lands to get rich for China. And China's using them and then doing away with them. We blame America, and it's like, America's filled with Chinese too. You can't say America is completely immune to the Chinese influence because there's a lot of Chinese there. Only China has only Chinese, right? And they're the ones, like I said, who are acquiring 60% of all the globe's resources. Just for themselves. One country. Anyway. We're gonna stay silent. What's this one? Increase hubris. What's this one? Deity favor? I guess we're supposed to let him not destroy us. I dreamed of Zeus last night. He said Atlantis fell to pride. Humans reaching for godly power through what we call technology. Few were spared for one person only to carry the warning to the living. Atlantis was always a trade city built on the sea, unable to grow enough food on its own. It flourished by importing raw materials, refining them into goods of value. Okay, did they import or did they just use the surrounding region? Were you trying to steal from the surrounding regions for yourselves and blaming them for trying to keep it in this little protective bubble? It's perspective, right? So in the time of Greek mythology, they built shrines to Athena, Poseidon, and Demeter in Athens, right? In today's modern Athens. They attracted these three. One was craftsman guilds, workers. One was fishers, and one was farmers. Right. So they moved their hubs into the center of the city, and tried to get people to work together in these three pillars to successfully maintain the region around them, to support the people's working together in the community in the city. And then you saw people like Zeus. Zeus moved out to the east and north. The Aphrodite, the fertility woman, or the beautiful woman, was hiding behind him to the north. Beautiful daughters hidden away by the father, right? To the east went all the wilds hunters and the let's just say the entertainers, the hunters, and the frivolous folks. The people living wild were sent out to the east. Behind the buffer of the sea. The problem was that Hera, the foreign bride arranging marriage consultant, was sitting in the center. Bringing in disease and not working with the working class folks. They were creating too many lives through their too many sons and daughters. Were they the early brothels? I'm not sure. Like, you weren't allowed to have people, a marriage or a woman, unless you went through the cults, but the men were frequently going to the countryside, having sex with and children with as many women as they possibly find. Anyway, mythology is a wondrous thing. Yeah. Are we doing anything here? I don't know where my ships are assigned. I don't think we have any workforce. Everyone's doing stuff. I don't think our houses are anywhere near full. Oh, they are full. Okay. So let me go more workers. I don't think we have enough workers. We're missing 22 workers, so we're going to build more housing for them. Oh, we found fish. It wants me to construct these. What's a coast rider? Is it a Birem? Or is it a technology I don't have yet? Is it this thing? You kneel in a dream, head bowed to Zeus. His rage doesn't fade, it sharpens into judgment. Accept your submission, offers protection. Calmer skies, safer winds, a chance for Atlantis to endure. His mercy has a price. Seal away invention, silence progress, and live by prayer and sacrifice. Okay, we have some ships, but they're going up and down. What do you... Okay, so one guy goes gets fish, one guy goes and scavenges these ruins. I don't know if we're... we have luxury ceramics, okay. And disassemble those ruins. And these ruins. I'm trying to gather fish. I can finally see the fish source here. Food will ease the worst of their fear for now, but one delivery will not save Atlantis. Being available a steady supply. Okay, I think that was a coast rider. Okay, so that should be enough. How much available housing do I have? 130? Is that what this one is? Okay, yeah. So at least that number is there. Now we're building ships. I'm gonna build one more. Pick that one. Pick that one. Oh, we can't. Zeus returns with a demand for past sins. Pride must be paid. Grain and gold are no longer enough. He wants a human life. He offers a terrible bargain. And sacrifice one person, he will shield Atlantis from storms, famine, and disease, saving far more lives than you take. Refuse entirely and you risk his wrath. What does he do? We don't know what he's doing with the person. Maybe he's training them in the priesthood. That's what they often did, right? They took a person to train them. They weren't killing them. Or sometimes when there wasn't enough food, people would sacrifice the criminals and the problems. Or the sick. They'd sacrifice the sick as well. Gold keeps just moving, crafts and working gold is circulating again, but the treasure runs dry, their rebirth will falter, tax you must tread carefully, they survive the flood, they won't forgive much. I don't think we have any more. Okay, I think we're doing... Take that one. Trying to like clear out all the stuff that's closest to us. Here's a small palace. And then here's more fish. So there's only one city I know that they tried to build something on the sea, and that was on the coast of, I guess the coast of Egypt. They were trying to build on the sand beds, and this, I guess an earthquake slipped it, the city into the sea. And there was another one in India as well that did that. Was it the same people making the same mistake? I'm supposed to go high? Okay, let's put it back down. I don't think we need money, it's pretty green. Construct the flagship. Build the vessel that will lead to the next great voyage. We have 28 people who are available for work. So specialized tools. Bring production, no one's consuming it. Why is no one consuming it? Where's my grain here? Consumes, produces. I don't think you're, like, it's saying this thing consumes 100 per hour and provides 50. But this console is not showing the same thing. The ship is ready, so it's like you've put up a very superficial... You put up, like, an idea of what you want to do, but you're trying to hide the fact that none of it's implemented right now. May I speak a long voyage like this isn't one with crates of grain. Give the men proper clothes, give them beer, otherwise the sea will do what it does. Scurvy will spread, spirits will sink. Scurvy is not going to be solved by beer. Scurvy is solved by vitamin C, which is like colored vegetables and fruits. Okay, they made some beers out of fruit in the early days. It's called wine. Beer's made from grains. Grains don't have vitamin C. Oh my god. Construct banana farms. Now, why is this panel hiding? Okay. I think your demo needs some work. I'm gonna stop it there. I think the interface is getting in my way, and plus, you know, the superficiality of it and the bastardization of my people's culture is kind of annoying me. So I'm gonna stop it there and just say this was not a win for me. Keep at it. Try to be more respectful and learn from your mistakes and move forward. That's it for today's episode, and until next time.